Our state still desperately needs more personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. Companies right here in Washington are stepping up to help. KOMO's Kara Kostovich is live in Seattle with that story. Kara?
That's right, Mary. Companies here in the state of Washington answering that call with a tremendous amount of goodwill.
We're getting offers from across the board, different kinds of manufacturers that are hoping to help.
260 companies across Washington are interested in producing critical PPE supplies. We know Jay Inslee has been calling for a national manufacturing effort, but what are we doing here in the state of Washington to make sure our needs are met here within the state?
Well, the good news is, since we have such a robust and diverse supply chain of manufacturing, we've been able to do some outreach to begin to procure some of that. But really, the inspiring thing here is they've been reaching out to us.
The State Department of Commerce says they're talking with 40 companies about retooling their manufacturing lines. Seattle-based Outdoor Research, a manufacturer of tactical outdoor apparel, is one company.
We all feel the personal and professional desire to help in a time like this.
Right now, Outdoor Research is converting the third floor of their Soto building into an FDA-approved factory to make surgical and N95 masks.
We're investing in machinery. We're learning things as fast as we can. We're hiring all kinds of people.
That's because by the end of April, the company will be making 140,000 surgical masks a day. And by May, 50,000 N95 masks daily as well.
If anyone can do it, it's us.
The company points to their more than 3 decades of experience manufacturing apparel for the Department of Defense and their relationships with supply chains, a local company that will soon be making major contributions to our state's troubling PPE supply.
We want to do what we can to help.
The outbreak in Washington will peak around April 19th.
The state health officer said that's according to our state numbers and modeling done by the UW Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluations.
And we also know that the more people we test, the higher our numbers will be.
Dr. Lofy said on the 19th we should hit the highest number of cases, but researchers don't have the latest data. The last results were posted Saturday. Nothing since. That's been a 3-day lag.
To help understand the daily testing, I've actually taken the state's numbers and put them on this line graph. And you can see this is where we started really low, and then we start increasing with all the testing through the month. But there are these dips here, here, and here, and all 3 of these are weekends. So that explains maybe why the numbers go down a little bit. But it doesn't for this last Saturday. Look at this, 166 tests. Why so low?
Our system was not originally designed to handle the large number of both positive and negative COVID reports that it has been receiving, and we're working with our vendor on that.
In addition, the state says it's still waiting on some data.
A 2-day delay in our data, does not really impact our response for our ability to make decisions, because we generally look at data trends over a longer period of time.
Lofy said a solid 5 days of data is ideal. But right now, the health department's website, because of that vendor issue, says there's no word on when the next update will be.
We know data is one of our strongest allies in this fight. And is incredibly important to our response. So we are really committed to making sure we have that information.
It is essential for our containment efforts to address the pandemic.
And that's why county and public health leaders are opening up a brand new facility inside the Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett in less than 24 hours.
This is both quarantine and isolation.
It's a place for folks to go if they have COVID-19 or they're waiting for answers and need a safe space. Authorities say it's not a medical facility, but there are physicians and nurses on site, and it's designed to help prevent the spread of disease.
One of these spaces is about 100 square feet. They're approximately 10 by 10.
This is a facility for those who don't need to be in the hospital or a hospital or care facility, but can't stay home.
We're working with healthcare partners to identify and direct individuals to be transported to this facility who have the need for isolation or quarantine and who do not have a safe place to do so.
County leaders say food will be provided from local businesses. There will also be security guards inside and law enforcement outside to make sure everyone stays safe. And then
we will be offering wraparound services, including basic medical care, availability of behavioral health care, and other services.
Our goal is to make this a place where they can go through their 14-day quarantine or their isolation period.
Virus has created an unprecedented crisis all around the world, including here, of course, in the United States. And that's why we here at KOMO News, along with our parent company, Sinclair, are teaming up with the Salvation Army to help those struggling in our community. Today, we have launched Sinclair Cares, Your Neighbor Needs You. Marissa Bodner reports.
COVID-19 has turned our lives upside down. Once busy storefronts now stand dark, leaving Americans out of work and struggling to make ends meet.
The demand that we're seeing is just incredible.
The Salvation Army is helping every person it can. Officials say this Augusta, Maine location serves about 85 families each month. This week, they helped 300 in just one morning, and supplies are running low.
Nobody's given us any food whatsoever in at least 3 weeks.
It's a concern that resonates all the way down the coast in West Palm Beach, where the Salvation Army is assisting with food, clothing, and shelter. They say the coronavirus is a different kind of disaster.
You can sustain high levels of intensity for a short period of time. This is elongated.
In these unprecedented times, they can't do it alone. Sinclair Broadcast Group is partnering with the Salvation Army to launch the Sinclair Cares Your Neighbor Needs You campaign, a community relief effort. The company will provide a total match up to the first $100,000. This is a national campaign, but it's all about local communities. The Salvation Army will be tracking donations to make sure any money you contribute stays in your community to help your neighbors.
I hate to use the word scared, but I am definitely concerned.
In our nation's capital, officials say it's unlike anything they've ever seen.
People that are receiving these goods are so grateful, even if it's limited.
In nearby Baltimore, they're most worried about the most vulnerable, delivering groceries to seniors who can't get to the store themselves.
Just their look on her face and expression of thank you, that is what I believe at this point will continue to help heal us through this process.
Together, we'll get through it. I'm Marissa Bodner.
Again, money donated stays right here in our local community. To help, just head to KOMOnews.com and click on the Sinclair Cares banner at the top.